Good morning. Every day's an adventure with me. I am going to show you a couple of cards of the same design. I received a card in the mail from one of my team, and she totally made my day with her extremely beautiful card and the very nice words that she wrote me. Um, my name is Jill Aronofsky. I am Saipanstamper. I have lived on the island of Saipan, which is a U.S. Commonwealth, for 30 plus years, and it is now my home, being originally from the East Coast of the U.S. So let me share my project with you today. I hope you love it. I will tell you the most exciting thing is that I have taken this design that I have seen from several demonstrators and I have made it paper thrifty. Yay! So join me. I hope you like what we're doing today. There we go. This is the card from Paige. Paige is my friend, and she's also on my team. She used to live here on Saipan, and she's moved somewhere else and has joined my team. Um, and I'm super excited about it. So, she made this. I know this is one of her favorite um, stamp sets. I love it too. And this is a simple corner fold card that she did. She did it with one of my favorite papers. This is maybe not the Country Woods, the other country one that went with that had the eyelets. And she used the Perennial Postage die. It's just super cute. Like I said, I have seen cards like this on the internet, and it just didn't impress me until I got Pages, and then I'm all over it. So I looked it up and I measured it, and this piece of paper is dun 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 8 by 6 3/4 to do this fun fold, and that means you can only get one piece from a sheet from a designer series paper. I have made it more paper thrifty, and I think it's absolutely just as cute. So I will show you what I'm going to use today. I'm going to use the Irresistible Designs designer series paper. It is all white, and then it has like embossing on it. So it's a little hard to see, but hopefully I can get there. You can get the right angle, and you see this has a plaid on it. This one has some, there we go. You can see floral pattern. And then the third pattern has some leaves. So it's a little hard to see, but I will show you what's the funnest thing to do with these papers today. I hope I'm not in a rut, but I am also using the Celebratory Sips paper again because I love it so much. And I have pre-cut. This is what I do. I take the whole sheet of paper that's got this design on it, and I take it in front of the TV. I've already cut both of these in this paper pack. So, oh, here it is. I take this paper and I go sit in front of the TV and watch whatever hubby's watching and cut them out. And then I'll go ahead and put them in this little plastic so that when I'm making a card, it's really easy for me to just pull these out and take a look at what I'm going to do. So I've already cut out my little pieces and I have those ready, and I will get to my measurements. So this is the 12 by 12 sheet that we're going to use for my design of this card. And like I said, normally it's going to be at 6 3/4 across and 8 inches long. but that means I can only get one card out of this whole sheet of paper. Yes, I can use the other little bits for something else, but I want to get two cards out of this piece of paper. So I'm going to cut it at 6. I made these new measurements for myself. And here we go. I am going to cut it at 6 inches. So I have 2 pieces that are 6 by 12. And then I'm going to, and you want to cut it. So I want to cut it so that when I open it up, this shows on the inside. So I'm cutting it with this up in the proper direction. I'm going to put my swing arm out so I can measure to the 7 1/4, 7.25. And I'm going to cut that. I'll put that aside. Then I'm going to take this, move my cutting blade away, and I am going to cut. This is how I want it to show on the inside. So I want a fold here and I want a fold here. So I'm going to score at 2 inches here. And I'm going to do 2 inches from the top so that that's where our fold will be. There we go. I always get nervous about that score tool, and that part done. I have pre-cut all my other papers, and I will show you. I have a 1/4 sheet of cardstock. This is 4 by 5 5.5. 5.5. I have 2 sheets that are going to be layers. This is 3.5 inches by 4 3/4. All of this will be in the description, so you can refer to it later. I've cut 2 of the designer, 2 of the white and 1 of the Irresistible Designs with this Perennial Postage die cut. And then I've also stamped a saying, which came from another set, because as much as I love this paper and as much as I've used the set, I still do not have the stamp set. Stampin' Up is hopefully sending me out a replacement in the next day or so. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. It really isn't very hard. These are going to go on top of here, so I'm just going to put those there for the moment. So I'm going to use my bone folder, and where we scored this, I am going to fold it in. From the top and from the left side so that we have this. And then I'm going to fold here so that this fold going down meets the fold here, and this meets the fold on that side. So very hard to see, actually. Oh, I need to pull it out a little bit more. That's why it's not lining up. And that should work like this. So then we just reverse that fold and bring that in, and this is going to go on the front of our card. That's how easy it is. So this side here is a little smaller than the cards that the other demonstrators have been making, but I'm going to get better usage out of this by being able to do 2 cards. So super simple. I'm going to put this on the card base. And I always turn it the long side up when I'm trying to get it all straight and even, because it just gives me a little longer length to get properly on there. Okay. So now I'm going to decorate the front of my card. So I have this irresistible paper. First, I did it with just the plain white, and I decorated it, and it just wasn't quite enough. for me. So I decided to try out this irresistible paper and I love it. I'm going to bring over a piece of scrap and my blender brush and my Blackberry Bliss, one of my all-time favorite colors. And then really smush this on here, do a little bit here so I don't get, and I'm just going to go in from the sides and in a circular motion around and around. You can do as little as much as you like, as dark as you like. I'm going to put something on the middle, so I'm not going to worry about that. And I do want it to be a little lighter, so that's all I'm going to do. It does still have some ink on the top because that is a resist. It's like heat embossing, right? So there is some ink on the top of that. So after I've done it, if I'm going to touch it, I'm obviously going to get that on my fingers. I want to take a piece of tissue, paper towel, something, and just rub. You can see that's got purple on it. There is ink on there that's going to make a mess somehow and ruin my day. So I'm going to try and get that off of there. And that's all that takes. So I'm going to put this on the 3.5 by 4 3/4 piece. And then I can mount all my little pre-cut wonders on here. Oh, do need to cut one more. Okay. I'm going to put this on here. And center it in the middle. I'm going to put some dimensionals here. And then I also did this saying. This comes from a retired stamp set called Whiskey Business. I promised to make some whiskey cards for my friend's wine shop, wine and alcohol shop, hard liquor shop. So it was on my desk, and since I don't have the Celebratory Sips stamp set yet, this is what I'm going to use for my saying. You could use any, you could just use happy birthday, whatever you want to send it to, send it for. That's the beauty of stamping, right? We can make one design and make it useful for a whole bunch of different occasions. So I am putting my dimensionals on the back of these. So it's not hard, right? 1, 2, and one more on here. Okay, so I'm going to put the 2 glasses on here first. And so I did pick colors that I thought would go with the rest of the design as best I could. And I'm going to put these on here. And then I'm going to put my saying up here. I just, I cut my longer saying into smaller pieces because I think that just makes it, well, fit better for one reason. And the second reason is it makes it a little bit more playful. So I'm going to put these on here and then range my saying on the top. And we are pretty much done putting the front part of the fun fold together. And then we'll get to the inside. So cheers. Let's see. I don't really squish them down all the way till I get them how I really like them. Cheers to you. There we go. That's good. So now we're going to put this on here. And so I just want to visualize or give myself some reminder that this little space in here is the only part that is going to have adhesive on it. I'm using my Seal Plus. And then this is going to go on here. And because Seal's such a strong adhesive, this is going to hold it in place even though it's a moving card. You could also use tear and tape, but that is pretty easy. We need to have also a small piece. Let me pull pull out one of my scraps from in here. Is that, oh, perfect. We want to decorate this little piece here. And since that is 2 inches, I want a 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. We're going to make a little square to put on here, and I'm just doing the Blackberry Bliss for the outline, and then I'm going to do white in the middle. And this is, ooh, my lucky day. This is already 1.5 as well. So 1 3/4 square for the cardstock and 1.5 for the center. I can go ahead and put this on. And then put this on here. And then I just cut out some of the ones from the smaller piece. There's another sheet of designer series paper that has a lot of these smaller images. So I cut out a couple of those, and we can just decorate that as well. So I'm not going to put dimensionals behind these because, you know, it's in the corner, so I don't want to make it too bulky. I think I'll put that there. And the wine bottle, or whatever kind of bottle it is. And then that is going to go up there. Oh, there we go. And for the inside of my card, I have another, this is also cut with a Perennial Postage for my inside. And on my original one, I did not put a saying on the inside because the front says cheers to you. So basically I could make it a congratulations card or a birthday card, just some sort of happy occasion card that you might have an adult beverage for. And this is going to go in here. Center it right in there. And I could also add, you know, a couple little things in here. I think I'm going to put those just like that. And then I can decide what I want to send it for my occasion. I could just say, miss you, and send it to my sister. There, super cute. So it does not really take that long to make, and you can make 2 with the designer series paper. Also with that leftover scrap of designer series paper. Here it is. I also decorate my envelopes. So I cut a basically 1, 2, 3. I think this is a 2 3/8 by 6 inches. And I take that and put it on my envelope. Put some thin bits of liquid glue. I find if I put too heavy on the glue here, it sometimes wets this sticky on the envelope and my envelope will accidentally close. So be frugal with your glue and your card will be happier for it. Put this on here and then trim the edges. And you have a coordinating envelope to match. I love to use the designer series paper. I think our designer series paper is gorgeous. And when they can see it without even opening your card first, that's a win. So I have one more card to show you. But this is the card using the smaller dimensions. So you can see how it looks a little bit different than this with the larger dimension. But I think it's still just as cute. And I'm going to be making them like this. So I will show you also that I made one with the Ocean Friends, another one of my favorite stamp sets and papers. And so this one has the crab on the front and some of the die cut images. And this is the inside with Berry Burst as the cardstock color. So I hope you love these. I hope you share them, and please leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you and see how you're enjoying my channel. Thank you, and see you next week.